Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name's Mel. Thank you so much for joining me today for Becca's Bookopolothon TBR. Guys, I'm really excited today because today is the day that I am doing my TBR for Becca's Bookopolothon. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, this is a month-long readathon that was created by Becca from Becca and the Books. Every single month, Becca plays a game called Bookopoly, which is based or inspired by Monopoly, and this is the way that she determines her monthly TBR every single month. She has actually turned this game into a month-long readathon. I participated in last year's month-long readathon, which was really fun, and I also participated in the mini weekend version that was earlier this year. That was really fun as well. This is a really big readathon that just everyone in the community seems to really love. So many people take part, whether they be booktubers, book bloggers, bookstagrammers, whatever it might be. So it's a really fun community event that I'm super excited to be involved in. Of course, Becca's channel is linked in the description below so that you can go and check her out, find out what I'm talking about if you don't already know. I'm also going to link her announcement video which goes through all the rules and how the gameplay works and all of that. So many of you probably know that I do have my own TBR game, which is the roll of reads that I play every single month in order to determine what books I'm going to read throughout the month. In September, because Bookopolothon is happening and I really want to be a part of that, but I also really love my own TBR game, roll of reads, I am going to do both to determine my TBR. So Becca normally does 5 rolls for her Bookopoly TBR game. I'm going to do 4 and then we'll see what happens with my roll of reads game, but I'm hoping that that will be relatively small as well. So rather than having a super huge video for you guys to watch today, what I'm going to do is today is Becca's Bookopoly game. I'm going to play that game to determine half of my TBR. I'm filming this on Friday the 20th of August. I am hopefully going to get this up tomorrow, Saturday the 21st of August. The plan is for my roll of reads TBR game to go up probably the following Saturday, which I think is the 28th of August. So that will be how I determine what I'm going to read throughout the month. Now, there are loads and loads of readathons happening always throughout the year. In September, there are quite a few that I'm very interested in. Becca's is one of those, as you are aware. I will also be definitely participating in the Because We Can readathon because that is one of my favourite readathons. It happens twice a year, it goes for a week, and there are reading challenges and creative challenges. And then in September we also have another month-long readathon, which is Magical Reads readathon that was created by G over at Book Roast, which sounds absolutely amazing. She has put so much effort into that and it just sounds incredible. So I'm super excited to do that as well. Keep an eye out for all of those different TBRs. So like I said, today is Bookopolothon. Next week sometime hopefully will be my personal TBR game, the roll of reads, and then I'm thinking the 1st or the 2nd, depending on what that Wednesday is, of August, I will put up a TBR for Magical Reads and a TBR for Because We Can readathon, so they'll be in the same video. And what happens in Bookopolothon and then my own roll of reads will determine my TBRs for those other 2 readathons. Yes, lots of stuff to keep an eye on. But anyway, for today we are going to be doing the Bookopolothon TBR game, which I am super excited for. So for each version of Bookopolothon, Becca creates a new board with a bunch of different challenges and prompts and different things. This is the board here. So as you see, it's set up like a Monopoly board. We have different coloured sections like we would with the different properties on Monopoly. We have chance and community shelf because it's a reading game. We have the corners all have a separate challenge, and then we have where the train stations and the utilities would be are separate challenges as well. So this is the board. In a moment I will start doing the game. You do play like you would in Monopoly with 2 6-sided dice. The rules are that if you roll a double at any point, then you have to add an extra roll. So I've decided, like I said, that I'm going to do 4 rolls to start with. The reason for that is because if I do my other TBR, then hopefully it won't get too ridiculous. 4 is definitely manageable. Even 8 is definitely manageable. With the other TBR, I could get up to 10 or 12. Hopefully I won't get that many, but you never know. So that is why I'm only doing 4, even though, like I said, Becca does 5 usually. But of course, if I roll a double, I could end up with 8. So we'll see how we go. I have my little chance card printed out and my community shelf cards printed out as well. So the way that works is that on chance you write a bunch of different book titles, and then if you get chance you pull one card off and you have to read that book. The way that Becca normally does it is she has half are books she really wants to read and half are books that she doesn't feel like reading quite so much. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have books that you really don't want to read or that you think sound terrible. It's more that half the books are books you're super excited about and you want to get to ASAP. And the other half are books that maybe you're not so interested in for the moment, you're not in the mood for. And then community shelf is you write your own prompts. So that would be another set of prompts. So that is what we've done. And then Becca always chooses a fun little marker to go around the board with. Today I'm actually going to use this little eraser. I don't know how well you can see that. There we go. And it's actually a little plate of sushi. So because I'm vegetarian, not vegan, but vegetarian, I decided to go with the egg one. So that's my little marker for today. So let's set the board up and let's do the first roll. All right. Roll number 1. 7. Chance. All right. No friend but the mountain. Okay, that's gonna hurt. And roll number 1, we ended up with a chance card. So, as you may have seen already, the chance card has got, see if I can get it to focus, No Friend But the Mountain on it. And it is a book that I didn't particularly, so I don't want to read it. I'm very intimidated by this book. I will just show you and explain what it is, and then you'll see why I'm intimidated by it. So this is No Friend But the Mountain. I'm just going to read the blurb to you because I think that will explain it best. In 2013, Kurdish journalist Behrouz Bookopoly sought asylum in Australia, but was instead illegally imprisoned in the country's most notorious detention centre on Manus Island. He has been there ever since. This book is the result. Behrouz Bookopoly spent nearly 5 years typing passages of this book one text at a time from a secret mobile phone in prison. Compiled and translated from Farsi, they form an incredible story of how, in escaping political persecution in Iran, he ended up trapped as a stateless person. This vivid, gripping portrait of his years of incarceration and exile shines devastating light on the fates of so many refugees as borders close around the world. No Friend But the Mountain is both a brave act of witness and a moving testament to the humanity of all people in the most extreme of circumstances. So the reason why this was in my didn't necessarily want to read right now is because I just find it's going to be really hard to read. It's going to be really upsetting, not just because what this person experiences is going to be really hard to read, but also because it is my own country who are treating people like that, and that's just horrendous. And I just know that's going to make me really angry and really upset and really sad, but I also know this is a really powerful book that is definitely worth a read. I have had it on my shelf for a while. I've definitely been meaning to get to it, but I've just been really intimidated by it and kind of scared of it, to be honest. But now's the time. So yeah. Thanks, Chance. And let's see what roll number 2 is going to do. Roll number 2 is a double, so we've already added another roll, and it's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Community shelf. Alright. A modern classic. Okay, alright. And chance number 2, we got community shelf. So for this one, I got modern classic. So for this, I've decided to read Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. This is a book that I know almost nothing about, but I know that it is a modern classic. It's meant to be absolutely amazing. And yeah, so I'm finally going to get around to reading it. Never read any Kurt Vonnegut before, so I am really excited to read it. I'm also kind of intimidated because sometimes these kind of classic can be a little bit hard to read, but we'll see how we go. So it is Vonnegut's experience in Dresden in Second World War. So I didn't actually realize that. So that's going to be really heartrending, I think, as well. Definitely another book that's probably going to be very worth the read, but I think it's going to be quite hard hitting. So yeah, that's the one I'll be reading for Modern Classic for Community Shelf. Wish me luck. Let's do roll number 3. Roll number 3 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Something that's cute. And for roll number 3, I got cute. So this one is very open-ended. You could basically kind of do with it whatever you want, but mostly it's looking about the front cover and it's seeing something that you personally find quite cute on the front cover. This is actually perfect because I've decided to go with Weird Sisters by Terry Pratchett. Ellie and I from Earl Grey Books are reading Pratchett's all the Discworld novels at the moment. We are going through one book a month and this is the next one, and I just think it's really cute because look at those little hats just coming off cauldron. I just think that's really, really cute. Something really appealing to me about that. So yeah, this is, and plus also the little broomsticks, which I just noticed, which are also really cute. I'm really excited for this one. This is actually a reread for me. It is I think it's actually the second, technically, in the Witches series. So for anyone that doesn't know about Terry Pratchett, the Discworld series, it's a series, a very big series with many, many different books, but within the series there are many little kind of trilogies and series that follow different characters. So this follows the Witches. The Witches are magic users. They are female and they mostly come from mountainous areas and country areas. And yeah, it's just a really fun, all of Terry Pratchett's books are fun and funny, so I'm very excited to reread this one with Ellie. So it worked out perfectly. Alright, let's do roll number 4. Roll number 4 is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What does that say? Steal a book. Ooh. And for roll number 4, we got steal. Now, what this actually means is basically you need to go and find someone else's TBR and steal a book from their TBR. It doesn't have to be a Bookopolothon or Bookopoly TBR. It could be anyone's TBR from anywhere on the Book2Net sphere. However, on the Discord for this round of Bookopolothon, quite a few people have actually already started posting their TBRs, which is frankly amazing. Anyway, so I thought that why not have a look there, see if there's any books that will work for me. I want to try and choose books that I already own rather than having to go and buy or whatever. So I was looking around on the shelf for what people had in their TBRs, and I noticed that It's a Me Jennifer, that's her Discord identification. I will try and see if I can find any other information and link that below. But It's a Me Jennifer was going to be reading Legendborn by Tracy Dion. This is a book that I have got on my e-reader, which I've been really excited to read at some point. And it just so happens that Kat from Brews and Reviews and I decided that we wanted to do another buddy read. We've been buddy reading this month and really enjoying ourselves, so we want to do another one next month. And we were talking about whether or not to do Legendborn by Tracy Dion or An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson, and I just so happened to see Legendborn on someone else's Bookopoly TBR, so that is the book that I'm going to steal from It's a Me Jennifer. So thank you, It's a Me Jennifer, for putting that up and for having a book that I really wanted to read on there, so that works out perfectly. So I will be buddy reading Legendborn by Tracy Dion with Kat from Brews and Reviews. And now, hopefully, our 5th and final roll. And final roll, hopefully, is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. LGBTQIA+ rep. And our final roll, it was our final roll, thank goodness for that. And we got LGBTQIA+ representation. So for that, I'm going to read The Miseducation of Cameron Post by Emily M. Danforth. Yeah, so this is a book that I've had on my e-reader for a while and I really wanted to read it. I was going to buddy read it with someone, but that fell through and I just kind of haven't had a chance to pick it up. But I'm really excited to have the opportunity now to pick it up for this one. I just realised I don't think I told you what Legendborn was about. I'll do so in a moment. But The Miseducation of Cameron Post is about a teenage girl who is queer and is sent by her parents to one of those conversion camps in the United States to you know, sort her out. It's about her going to that camp and what happens to her and the people she meets and the relationships she's forming and the things she's learning about herself and what those camps are like and all of that sort of thing. I think it sounds really, really interesting. I've heard a lot of people talk about it and say that they have been really, really loving it. Most recently, Paige from Pages with Paige was reading it and really enjoying it. I know that Emma from Drinking by My Shelf absolutely loved it, and that is where I first heard of it. So I'm really excited to read this one, and yeah, I'm really happy to have an opportunity to do so in the month of September. And Legendborn, which I forgot to explain to you, is a modern sort of sci-fi fantasy retelling of the King Arthur legend. So it's about a teenage girl or sort of young adult whose name I don't remember, who goes to an American, I think, university, and she kind of gets involved in this sort of cult sort of frat sorority or something like that, which is based around King Arthur, and that's about as much as I know. I've heard amazing things about it. I've heard that it's really, really good. So many people love this book, so I'm really excited to read it this month and see what I think of it. Anyway, that is my Bookopolothon TBR for September's Bookopolothon, which I'm really, really excited about, as I have said. Like I said before, keep an eye out for my Roll of Reads, which will go up probably in about a week, and keep an eye out for my joint Because We Can Readathon and Magical Reads Readathon TBRs, which will go up sometime after that, early in September, so that you can see all the other books that I will be reading during the month of September. So far, I'm pretty happy with what books I will be reading. I think this looks like a very doable stack. So here it is here, plus of course the 2 ebooks. Yeah, so that's it from me today. Please do comment below if you have any thoughts on any of the books that I have chosen, what you might have picked had you got these rolls yourself. If you're going in Bookopolothon, please do comment below and let me know. Post your TBR so I can go and check that out as well. If you would like to leave me a comment but you don't know what, then leave me some little dice emoji. All of my social media details are linked in the description below, so if you'd like to go and follow me on any of those other platforms, please feel free to do so. Thank you all so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, I would absolutely love it if you would go and subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. And yeah, like I said, thank you all so much for joining me today. I really do hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.